What's up, gang? Welcome back to Headlocks and Hot Packs. We are throwing it back once again tonight to the 90s. You can see we got a big old box, not even a box, it's a big old tin of some football for this evening. 1997 score. We've got 150 cards in here. This is at a time when they would come in these collectible tins. This one you can see is the Dan Marino version. I believe there was 6 of these. You see the Elway on the front, and then who else there? Favre, somebody else covered up. But this was this product is part of a handful of football card videos that we have done, or that I did, and for some reason the videos didn't really work, so they were lost 2 times. So here is the original tin from that. Of course, being a Patriots fan, I went for the Drew Bledsoe one. So first time on the channel for this one, but not first time that I am ripping it. So let's go ahead and get right into it. This is a 330 card set, so assuming there are no doubles in here, you can basically get like half the set out of one of these tins, roughly, just under, I'd say, what is that, like probably 45%, 150 from 330, whatever that math is. If somebody wants to do it, go ahead and feel free as I try to get into this. But a bunch of name rookies, I would say, in here. There are only 2 Hall of Fame rookies. There's Aikman and Bledsoe. Only 2 Hall of Fame rookies to be found in here, and it is Orlando Pace and Tony Gonzalez. But there will be a bunch of names that I'm sure people definitely remember, so we're going to be looking for guys like Corey Dillon, Warwick Dunn can be found in here. I don't know why my mind is immediately going blank on the Rookies QB Club. I remember that from around this time, something that never really took off. But as you can see, these aren't in like cellophane or anything like that, but they do package them pretty nicely with some styrofoam. We'll take these out here kind of carefully, you know, at least they're not all rattling around all loosey-goosey in a metal tin like Panini does with packs these days, where they're just banging up all the corners. Hopefully this is not too stuck together either. We shall see. They don't seem to be really bad at all. Might be a little bit of stickage, but nothing too terrible. Here's the design for those that have not seen it before. I did have a number of these when I was a kid. We're also going to be looking for Barry Sanders in here, and of course more for the Pats collection. Ray Caruth, oh boy, that's probably a bad sign that that's the first rookie that we're coming across. Tiki Barber can also be found in here. There's Steve McNair, R.I.P. I thought that was a Barry Sanders right off the bat. Brett Perriman. I do believe I already have the Tony Gonzalez rookie card for the Hall of Fame collection, so I'll mostly be looking for the Orlando Pace, as I guess unexciting as that could possibly be. There's Gilbert Brown. I definitely remember him and his little... Is he the one that did the dance? Or I'm thinking I'm confusing him with B.J. Raji. I do remember Gilbert Brown, though. Bad memories of the Packers from this point. The big play, Michael Irvin, that is a subset. I don't know if you can find inserts in here. I know we'll definitely see a parallel because we already kind of saw it in the stack here. Willie McGinnis, another big play, and that is a Barry Sanders. I don't believe I've got that one in the Barry collection, so I'll set that one to the side. But yeah, I'm very familiar with the Packers roster at this point because this was the season after they had stomped out the Patriots in the Super Bowl. There's a very early Terrell Owens, Mike Allstott, Trent Dilfer, a bunch of names in a row there. Elvis Gerback, and then Sam Gash. That's a name I hadn't really thought of for quite some time. Yeah, the 97 Super Bowl, which is really the 96 season championship. was Pats Packers. So this would have been for the beginning of the following season, which would have started the same year as that Super Bowl. A little bit confusing. Rod Smith, Broncos legend. Neil O'Donnell, another Broncos legend there. John Elway, Troy Davis, shout out to my buddy Kyle. Jim Druckenmiller, shout out to my buddy Doug on that one, of Drew Bledsoe. Another rookie here, David LaFleur. Zach Thomas is in the Hall of Fame. Speaking of Hall of Famers, there's Hall of Fame quarterback here, Steve Young, couple of years removed from Niners' last Super Bowl. Jim Kelly, another Hall of Fame QB. So lots of big names from this time period, especially since they were really, obviously most collectors I think are focused on QBs these days, so it hasn't changed too much in 30 years. Looks like we probably will have an insert in here. I do see a very different border other than that foil border. They're going every which direction. What is this? Upper Deck? Get it together, Pinnacle, even though it's 30 years too late. Eric Rhett, who was about to lose his job. Muhsin Muhammad, very early in his career too, for old school Panthers fans. That's weird. Back-to-back Adrian Murrells, his base, and then this showcase. Looks like we'll have two of them. Showcase series. Kind of an early parallel. Bruce Smith. The new breed, that is Marvin Harrison. Thought it was Marshall Faulk at first. That is, what was his rookie year? Was it 96? I think that's his second year. Antoine Smith. Probably better known as a Patriot at this point than he was a Buffalo Bill. Deion Sanders. Sean Mitchell. Bryant Westbrook. Some guys who never panned out. There's a Merton Hanks. I just remember his touchdown celebration. He would kind of pick off a pass and then run it back and high step it into the end zone and act like his neck was broken. I don't know if that's going to make any sense to anybody. It's kind of hard to explain, but for people around my age that remember it, leave a like on this video. Por favor. Having horrible allergies right now too. We're battling through it. Still on the lookout for either of the Hall of Fame rooks. There's Jason Sehorn, Eddie George, but lots of definitely names that I remember, and guys that had Hall of Fame careers, really good careers. Cornelius Bennett, he had a pretty good career, I would say. Edgar Bennett, damn Packers. Gotta keep showing up. Next thing you know, I'll get 3 Brett Favres in a row. Rod Woodson and Chris Carter, some back-to-back Hall of Famers there. Willie Roaf, I think is Willie Roaf in the Hall of Fame? He might be. Joey Kent. I vaguely remember Joey Kent. Jake Plummer, Jake the Snake. Definitely a memorable name. I think people probably remember him more as a Denver Bronco, I think, than an Arizona Cardinal. Lots of these big play subsets in here. Marco Coleman, Rob Moore. There is the Bus, Jerome Bettis, and Aeneas Williams. That's another Hall of Famer. Chris T. Jones, Mr. T to you. Jimmy Smith, part of those early Jags teams. They have a pretty good forgotten wide receiver duo, Jimmy Smith and Keenan McCardell. I'm really reaching in the memory banks for this one, folks. There's a Terry Glenn, Moose, Daryl Johnston, Rodney Hampton. So again, more and more guys that had pretty good careers. Michael Haynes, I think. Was Michael Haynes a number One for the Falcons at one point. I feel like he might have been Thurman Thomas, Hall of Famer, Peter Boulware. I'd say he had a decent career. Stubblefield, Farrat. Sean Springs also had a nice career. I think he ended up being the best corner out of this draft class. Jonathan Ogden is a Hall of Famer. His rookie year was the year previous. Chris Canty, rookie. Last few cards here. There's an Amani Toomer. It's not a tumor. Well, it actually was. James Stewart. Warren Moon. I feel like I'm playing DJ again here, spinning everything around. Warren Moon played forever. Squints. Joey Galloway. There is Mark Brunell. It was a pretty fun Jaguars offense around this time. I think it was like, what, Brunell, McCardle, Jimmy Smith, and what was the running back? I think it was Natrone Means. They had a pretty long string of good running backs, and too. Natrone Means, Fred Taylor, MJD, James Hasty, the final one there, as I'm just randomly pulling out names from my memories of late 90s Jaguars teams. But that's it for this one, as my allergies start kicking in again. 1997 score. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I can't even get through this outro. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this one. Gotta love the fall time. We'll probably get back into some modern for next week. So I don't know if we're gonna do basketball, maybe some baseball. We haven't done any baseball in a few weeks now, so whatever I feel like ripping at the time. So you'll have to come on back and see what that is. But that's it for this one. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you again really soon.